A breathtaking revolution is reshaping our world. Biotechnology is advancing at an astonishing pace, giving us unprecedented power to manipulate the very fabric of life. This revolution is both a source of extraordinary hope and a cause for deep concern. On the one hand, biotechnology offers the promise of curing diseases once thought incurable, extending healthy lifespan and creating crops that could nourish billions in the face of climate change. On the other hand, it introduces new dangers. The potential to create viruses more deadly than nuclear weapons, capable of threatening civilization itself. So, what exactly is happening beneath the surface? Biotechnology is quietly weaving itself into the fabric of our daily lives, often unnoticed. The cotton in your t-shirt, the vegetables on your plate, even the loyal dog at your side, all shaped in some way by human intervention in biology. We use bacteria to manufacture insulin for diabetics, connect prosthetic limbs directly to the brain, and engineer enzymes that make industrial processes like paper production more efficient. Gene therapy is attacking diseases once deemed untreatable, and researchers are developing crops that can withstand droughts, floods, and pests brought on by a changing climate. Perhaps most striking is the speed at which these capabilities have developed. When COVID-19 first emerged, it took scientists just a few weeks to sequence the virus's entire genetic code, a process that would have been inconceivable only a decade earlier. Within months, synthetic copies of the virus were being studied in labs around the world, and vaccine development was underway. This kind of rapid response was made possible by a series of breakthroughs that have driven down costs and made complex knowledge far more accessible. To understand where these breakthroughs came from, we need to look back at the Human Genome Project. Launched in 1990, it was the first major effort to read the entire sequence of human DNA. The project took 13 years and cost more than $3 billion. Sequencing a single genome used to cost $100 million. Today, that cost has plummeted to about $1,000. A 100,000-fold decrease. The time required has also shrunk. What once took teams of experts years to accomplish is now largely automated and can be completed in just a couple of weeks. But it's not just technology that has transformed. So has the culture of science. Knowledge that was once siloed within elite institutions now spreads freely. Discoveries that once took years to reach the broader scientific community can now circle the globe in months, replicated and built upon by researchers everywhere. Today, even high school students might be assigned projects that would have been the cutting edge of science just a few years ago. To put this in perspective, imagine if your local computer repair shop could assemble a state-of-the-art smartphone from scratch, using only locally sourced parts. Or if students were tasked with building a previous generation iPhone as a homework assignment, not a mere replica, but a fully functional device. This is the sort of leap biotechnology has made. The pace of learning has accelerated. The barriers to entry have fallen. The result is a wave of innovation that promises life-saving therapies, miracle crops, and solutions to problems we have yet to imagine. But this rapid progress comes with a shadow. Every powerful tool can be misused, whether through malice or simple error. The same biotech that could save millions of lives might also be used, intentionally or accidentally, to cause mass harm. The world has already witnessed how a single virus can bring societies to their knees. COVID-19, which killed millions, was relatively mild as pandemics go. The next pandemic could be much worse. Whether the last pandemic emerged from nature or resulted from a lab accident, the fact remains that the tools to study and even create dangerous viruses are now in the hands of thousands. Today, a scientist can order the genetic code of a potentially dangerous virus and synthesize it in a lab for less than the price of a new car. At the same time, virus hunters are scouring the wild for undiscovered pathogens, bringing samples back to the lab for study. When they find new viruses, their genetic data is often published openly. Scientific journals are eager to share research on viruses with pandemic potential, And some researchers even enhance viruses in the lab to predict how they might evolve to become more infectious or deadly. The results of these experiments are made freely available, and the tools to reconstruct viruses can often be purchased online with minimal oversight. As biotechnology becomes cheaper and more accessible, and as genetic data continues to be shared widely, the risk of a catastrophic accident or a deliberate act of bioterrorism increases. We are approaching a point where the instructions for building a biological weapon could be available to anyone, anywhere. The consequences could be devastating, pandemics breaking out year after year, or even simultaneously, with the potential to kill millions and set civilization back by centuries. Yet this is not the first time humanity has faced such existential risks. Consider nuclear technology. From the beginning, researchers understood the dangers inherent in splitting the atom. As a result, strict controls were developed to limit access to nuclear materials, and international agreements have helped prevent the proliferation of nuclear weapons. While not perfect, these efforts have largely succeeded. Despite the existence of hundreds of nuclear power plants, nuclear terrorism has not become a widespread threat. We can and must apply similar caution to biotechnology. Experts propose 3 key steps to reduce the risks. First, we must delay the next pandemic by controlling access to dangerous genetic data. The genetic sequences of high-risk pathogens should be treated as sensitive information, with strict monitoring of who can buy and synthesize this DNA. Second, we need to detect threats early by setting up surveillance systems in major population centers to monitor for unusual viral activity. Early detection allows for rapid response and containment. Third, we must be prepared to neutralize threats before they can spread, developing tools like air filters, ultraviolet sterilization, and rapid vaccine production to stop outbreaks in their tracks. If we take these steps, we have a real chance to harness biotechnology for good, while minimizing the risks. Biotechnology is not inherently good or evil. It is a tool, one that can be used to heal or to harm. The challenge before us is to ensure it is used wisely. We stand at a crossroads. With courage, cooperation, and foresight, we can create a future where disease is conquered and humanity thrives. Let's work together to ensure that the revolution in biotechnology becomes a force for good, shaping a brighter, healthier, and more resilient world for generations to come. Did you find our videos helpful? Please like and subscribe to our channel so we can be motivated to answer the questions that people are still wondering about.